So I kick the hip forward, and here's the key. As I kick the hip forward, I have to actually tilt my spine away from the target. Most golfers, golf instructors, and golf media personnel will tell you that stack and tilt doesn't work with the driver, and it can only work with your irons. Everyone assumes when they hear weight forward that you're gonna hit it low and you can't hit it very high or generate any speed or power. Well, that's completely wrong, and I'm here to show you why. When we take the setup with an iron, most of my students are gonna set up with about 5% of their weight on their lead foot. So they're gonna kick the hip slightly to the left. As you can see, it's very subtle. And that puts a little bit more weight on my lead foot versus my trail foot. From here, I can make a backswing. I'm not shifting my weight to the right. I can turn in a circle and then move all my weight forward to hit the ground in front of the ball. Now, when we move the golf ball forward on our arc, stack and tilt doesn't use the feet as a reference point for where we put the ball. The reason being is one day this might be my stance width. The next day it might be here. The next day it might be more narrow. Anything that's a variable we don't like because we can't replicate it as often. Therefore, we use the left shoulder as the center of the arc, and we position the ball off the center of that arc to hit golf shots. So with the driver, as soon as we move it forward on our arc, in order to set our weight more forward and control the angle of attack, the strike, the path, and the face, we actually have to kick the hip more forward. So with my standard irons, it's usually about 55 to 60% of my weight on my left foot. With my driver, it's closer to 70, 75% more often. So I kick the hip forward, and here's the key. As I kick the hip forward, I have to actually tilt my spine away from the target. What tilting the spine away from the target does is it allows me to stand the shaft straight up and down, maximize the amount of loft that I have on it, and it helps me level off my angle of attack. If I was to use my stack and tilt setup like I see everybody describe it to me when they really don't know what it is, and I move my spine up here, well, of course I'm not gonna hit it very high. This is just gonna promote a more downward angle of attack, and when I have a more downward angle of attack and my wrist bends are correct, I'm not gonna have any loft. Why would I ever wanna do that? No golfer on the planet truly plays from that position. Stack and tilt is not asking you to play golf from that position. So when you take your setup with the driver, we want the golf ball, a good starting place, is off the middle of the lead shoulder. If I decide I want to play a fade, I'm going to actually move the ball a little bit more forward in the stance. If I want to play a little bit bigger of a draw, I'm going to play the ball slightly back in my stance. Your driver, when it's played off the middle of the shoulder, if you can control the face and the path, you should actually hit your driver the straightest out of any club in the bag because of where the ball sits on the arc and its influence on your swing path. If you're curious about more about ball position and what it does to the curve, check out these two videos here. I'll make sure to put the links down in the comments as well as my description. Once you set the hip forward and you tilt the spine, don't let the handle lean back. I actually want the shaft to be straight up and down and in line with my lead arm. Hips forward, everything in a straight line, tilt back slightly, make your swing. Nice, high, pretty straight shot, little draw. I didn't have to swing hard and I got that to roll out to 285. 38 years old, I'm an old man. I don't swing very good. I launched that at 12 degrees with 2,000 spin. It landed at a 32-degree angle, and I got 30 yards of rollout. Didn't swing hard at it, but I got everything to go where I wanted it to go. I can play golf from there. Work this setup into your golf swing. Hips forward to create the weight. Tilt backwards. Keep the center of the spine in between your feet as you continue to push your hip forward. That's how you level off the angle of attack. That's how you launch your driver high, utilizing the loft of the club, not trying to hit slices to make the ball go up, not trying to massively roll the heck out of the face to hit it higher. That's just going to hit low hooks. Do this and you're going to pound your driver as far as you've ever done it. Remember these 3 myths that this debunks. Myth number 1, you have to hit up in order to hit it high. That's completely false. That just adds timing. You're not guaranteed to hit it higher. It's much easier to hit it higher with your hips forward and your weight forward. Myth number 2, stack and tilt is for irons only. Stack and tilt was built for the driver. It actually allows me to hit my driver straighter, higher, and far enough to where I don't lose any golf balls. Myth number 3, weight forward means steep. Steep is not about where my weight is. Steep is about what my swing path is, and actually my weight back creates more steepness typically because it throws your path out to in. Where's your swing path and your weight? Just moving my weight forward does not mean that I'm going to be steep. Get your setup right with your driver, and I promise you, you're going to start hitting the ball a lot higher. Next time you practice or go play, make sure, put the hip forward, tilt back, and then come back and comment on this video, driver, if it helped you hit your driver higher and better. If you want some personalized stuff for your own golf swing, make sure to go to my links, my Patreon for online lessons, my website S2 Golf Academy for in-person lessons. Now is a great time to work on this, especially if you're coming out of an off season and you definitely want help leading into your spring season. Now is the greatest time to work on your own golf game. Make sure, like, comment, subscribe to this video, smash the hype button if you can. I look forward to seeing you guys next week as we continue our work with the driver.